Hey friends, we are looking at the Mould King Lamborghini SIÁN model. It is set number 10011 with 1,249 pieces. In this video, we're going to just look at the box. We're going to unbox it. We're going to look at the parts and the instructions, and you'll get a sense for what you're in for and what it includes. And in a separate later video, I will review the finished model. So please subscribe so that when it's up, you'll be the first to know. So right off the bat, looking at the model, it is a creator style vehicle made out of bricks, not Technic. It's got quite a few pieces, 1,249, puts it in the range of the Lego models that are maybe remind you of like the white Porsche that they made, as well as the DB5. So the larger than Speed Champion models, and usually a much bigger box than this one. And because they don't have the license, right, it's got this Lamborghini is what it says here. So essentially it's a Lamborghini SIÁN. And you can, if you look up pictures of this vehicle, it comes in this very metallic green, not this lime green, but a very metallic green. It has gold wheels, and we'll take a look at the colors they ended up choosing there. Right off the bat, though, I am glad that they chose not to include a windscreen rather than to kind of jerry-rig or retrofit an existing Lego windscreen in here. I think that would not have looked as good, so I'm glad they just plain left it off. The other thing that happens here is that these butterfly doors open, so you can swing them upwards on both sides. I don't think the engine cover moves, and I don't think the hood moves. And if you look at photos of this car, they don't have any photos, but you'll see that the front here is just this jagged razor chaos, which is very common for a Lamborghini. And I think they did okay for this front end, considering how difficult that would be to pull off at this scale. As far as the hood area goes, it does have maybe a little bit too much layering happening here for it to look convincing. I think that might be one of the weaker parts, but I don't know how you would make this any better, to tell you the truth, other than doing a custom piece there. Along the back, you've got new additional views. The view of the front, it almost doesn't look like a car in this view. So the engine cover does fold open. That's cool. It does have seats, has an interior, and notice these decorations. These look familiar, and we'll come back to that. Here are the doors folding up, and it does have a sticker for the license plate as well. As far as the parts go, they're all compatible with Lego. You're seeing here bags 1 through 6, and they are individually bagged. As far as the parts and colors go, they're pretty familiar. They did use this really bright lime green. I think it's going to end up looking probably okay in that color. And then there are some stranger things in here, like this one. It's a transparent, kind of cloudy, clear piece. I'm not sure what that's used for, and not my favorite. It looks kind of like a cheap part, but it depends on what they're going to do with it. So I'll reserve judgment until I build it. Comes with rubber tires and then wheels. And these are not the wheels that you're going to see. Instead, you're going to snap on these covers. And I don't know if you can tell, but these wheels are almost a rose gold, not a standard gold. So they got the color a little bit off. I would have preferred it to just have been gold like you see on the box. It's a little bit more of a gold instead of this rose gold kind of color. And then speaking of stickers, here are the stickers, and you'll notice that although these are Lego designs, they recreated those designs in sticker format. So if you wanted to, you could just swap them out for your own parts, and you'd have genuine printed parts if that is your preference. Okay, and then the instructions. It's kind of a thinner booklet, and going into it, the color is pretty good. The clarity is pretty good. It's a little bit on the cramped side, but you can tell like the number of studs are easy to count because they use a white outline for all of the parts. And then in each new step, the new parts are highlighted in red. making them a little bit easier to find. And they do get a little bit cramped as you go along. So I'll give you an example as we get into where you see the entire car. Some of the parts become much smaller to pick out. So they do some insets that help a little bit, but that can become maybe a little bit more challenging. But if you've built any kind of Lego set that is maybe more than 500, 700 pieces, I think you'll do just fine. Just take your time, make sure you're grabbing the right parts, and then using the right parts. Okay, and then here's the very end of it. You know, it's finishing with some of the arrow pieces, the wheels, and then one of the stickers at the very end. And that's the entire thing. So it should be a good build. Hopefully no surprises. Mould King, it's kind of hit and miss in the past. Some of the models I've had from them in the far past have been less than perfect, but we'll see. We'll see about the newer ones. I believe this is a more modern release for them. So hopefully they've worked out some of the kinks and some of the issues. All right, thanks so much. If you liked the video, please hit like and then subscribe so that as soon as this is built, you'll be one of the first to know. Thanks so much.